So today we're going to delete this huge tail end and put a nice little Aliexpress tail end on. Clean this all up. So first of all, we need to get the seat off and then have a look what I'm dealing with. So the seat's off. You can now see there's one bolt there, one bolt there, and then one just inside there, and then one just inside there. So that's holding on the original. Those two ones back there are probably going to be the hardest. So I think the easiest way to get to them is to take this fairing off at the back. So I'm going to grab some tools and I'll make a start with that. So I brought this little magnetic tray from Aldi's or Lidl's, one of them. It's finally going to come in use to collect all these little bolts so they don't get lost. So it's finally got a purpose. So to undo these little screws, I need a hex full. So now all the little screws are out. The fairing pretty much just comes out. It's got these little poppers just on the side there that if you unclip and pull out, the whole fairing just lifts off nice and easy. So that's the rear fairing. Now it just basically exposes all the wire loom and the bolts to make it nice and easier. So I think the next thing I need to do is disconnect the wires at the top, and then I can then get the bolts, drop the back end, and then potentially look at rewiring the new lights in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, just to make it a little bit easier to see what wires which, I'm going to undo the full bolts and drop the back end. That way I can see which way the wires are shooting off. To undo them bolts, you need a H5, hex 5. Okay, so I've got one bolt left inside, but as you can see, with the 3 bolts now taken off, that's a lot more loose. So by the time I take the last one out, that's probably going to drop. So I just need to be careful to catch it. But that was pretty easy. The bolts came out relatively easy. Some were a little bit tight, but this last one's a lot easier now. The other 3 are out. Okay, so that's all 4 bolts out now. Wires exposed. Back end completely dropped. So now I've got a good idea of where the new indicators and the plate light will line up. The next part is just undoing it all. So the old fender is completely off. It was really easy to do. Underneath you had 4 screws. Undo the 4 screws and it takes off the 2 bits of plastic away from each other. So that piece to this piece. So now I've taken that off, it's left me looking like this, and I've marked up the indicators left and right, which leaves obviously the plate light completely by itself, so I can't get that wrong. So the only thing I've got to decide now is whether to go and buy connectors for the new loom or to go and buy plugs. Alright, so after a bit of playing around and trying to find out what works, I've now come to the conclusion that the grey cable is for the live, the black and yellow cable is for the earth. I'm no electrician, I did have to Google this because I didn't have a clue, but I'm happy that the lights are working. So I'm going to go ahead, install the new tail tidy I will have to undo the back end again at some point today to do the connections properly, but I don't have any connectors with me. I thought the connectors that were given in the pack were going to fit, but it didn't, hence the reason this is now chopped and they've still got connectors on. They're all going to look like this one and not like them, but what I'll do is get some sleeves and do the connections that way. But for now, we will bodge it together, tape it up, get to Halfords, get the connectors, come back and make it a job of good one. Alright, so the new tail tidy is fitted. It's only loose at the moment, just need to tighten everything up, but it's held on by the full screws and bolts that were supplied. Really easy to fit. I was actually really surprised with my own abilities, considering I know nothing about motorbikes. So now all I've got to do is just do the wiring, make sure it's all working, put the fairing back on, put the seat back on, jump the Halfords, come back, take the seat off, redo the wiring, make sure it's done properly, obviously put the plate on, and then we're all good to go with a new tail tidy. And already without even the plate on, it looks so much better, so much better. I don't know why they just don't do this in the first place rather than all that rubbish down there. Okay, so wiring temporarily done. Not the best looking job, but we'll come back to that once we've got the parts. But the good news is everything is working. Indicator on the front, indicator on the rear, right hand side rear, hazards front, hazards rear. Come down below, plate light all working, and then just to make sure that it's still working, rear brake light is still working, so all lights working well. Got a dog that's about to be sick. Alpha, you good? Good. So yeah, I'm gonna get the bits back together, get the plate on, and so next up is the reassemble. So fairing and seat to go back on. Fairing back on, nice and easy. So as I said, I'd come back and do the connections properly. So I've got the butt connectors and they've been crimped in and then taped up just for that added protection. So just got to tape up the last one and then that is everything all working. And as you can see, the light's starting to fade now, so plate light's working and indicators are working. Hazards. So yeah, been a successful install if you ask me.